I change your bum life. You fight me, it's a celebration.
I would beat you.
When you sign to fight me, it's a celebration. You ring back home, you ring your wife. Baby, we done it. We're rich, baby. Conor McGregor made us rich. Break out the red panties. We're rich, baby.
Yo, 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 welcome back to the fifth round. As always, myself, Stephen Moustaris. And man, the Bellator had a crazy weekend. I kind of spoke about it a couple of days ago, breaking it down. And although I thought Saturday night was a really good fight card, I will not lie to you, but it kind of, I think anybody could see this. I'm not saying that I'm like breaking news here or anything, but just Bellator 278 on Friday, I kind of knew was just one of those ones that wasn't going to really like blow people's like brains or blow their hair back or whatever. You know, it was a tough one. Like I love MMA. I'm going to watch that shit any day of the week. So like anytime there's fights, I'm going to watch it. But it was just tough. Honestly, I was in the understanding, or not the understanding, but just the belief of like, hey man, we should probably just take the main fight, the Liz Carmouche and Juliana Velasquez, and make that like the co-main or something, or even the main event, either one of a Bellator 279, which was the next night, because they're both in Hawaii. I get it; they're trying to put some shows on and whatnot. I don't blame them. I think 278. I think Friday night was in front of all the troops and shit, so I thought that was really cool. Don't get me wrong. I was just a little underwhelmed on the fight card. Not too much going on in my opinion. But I guess the one thing I will talk about is, of course, the main event, Liz Carmouche and good old Juliana Velasquez, who Juliana was the champion, and really controversial decision, like not decision, but controversial finish where Liz was on top of her, had the full mounted crucifix, and you know going ham on her and whatnot with some elbows. I mean, from my point of view, I didn't think that they were. I'm not in there. I'm not the one taking them, so I can't sit here and speak. But I think we all agree that fight was stopped pretty early. There's only 13 seconds left in the fourth round. Don't get me wrong. I would have let it go for maybe another 5 seconds, and then if it would have got really, really ugly, then you can call it. I know it's just one of those ones that the position just looks way worse than what the damage was in my opinion from TV when I was watching it on the couch, you know, sitting here playing armchair quarterback here. But it was a tough one. I'm definitely happy for Liz Carmouche. Don't get me wrong, UFC legend. More than that, she's just a legend in MMA in general. One of the pioneers of women's MMA. So it was really cool to finally see her win a belt in a main organization. I thought that was really fucking dope for her. But you know, your heart goes out to Juliana Velasquez. They both were putting on a great performance. And honestly, if that thing goes to the fifth round, I would have hated to be a judge after that one, because it was a tough fight to judge. Like, they each had their moments. You know, you had the leg kicks going, you had the jab going, you had the takedowns. It was just a tough one. It was just back and forth, in my opinion. Not too much damage was being shown left and right until the end, and it's still. I don't know if it was enough damage to finish, but now we got Liz Carmouche, you know, bantamweight women's champion. Not bantamweight, Bellator, my bad. But what I'm sitting there thinking is they probably just run that shit back. I don't know why you wouldn't. I don't know if there's anybody else in line that I would even want to see the fight, which I guess we end up seeing the next night. Like, you thought maybe Elimele McFarland might have her chance. But man, that was a very, very upsetting loss for her. So to go into Saturday night, man, I think the only couple takeaways I thought the Yancy Medeiros fight was really cool. I like seeing him come back and looking that good. Clearly, you know, one of Stockton's very own. You know, the Diaz Bros training partner, one of the legends from the UFC. I shouldn't say legend, but you know, one of the men that had a bunch of fights in the UFC, had a nice wins, nice losses, you know. So it was cool to see him come back and have a really good performance. My main takeaway is, if I ever had to fight anybody in my entire life, like in the street, in the cage, anything, I think Kyoji Horiguchi, I think that would be the last person I'd ever pick to fight. That man's movement, he's not getting touched. And if it wasn't for Patchy Mix getting him, the takedowns and the 3 rounds that he won, I'd have felt bad for him, man. I'll tell you that right now. Because any time other than the takedowns, that dude could not touch him. You could tell he was getting frustrated. Coyote's so good at like being in and out. Oh, dude, it was whew. I was sitting there, kind of had anxiety the entire time watching that fight. Like, man, if I was fighting this guy right now, the embarrassment I'd be going through to not be able to touch this dude. Like, yeah, it's really impressive out of Patchy Mix that he still got the win. But it's one of those ones, it's just control that he won, in my opinion. I know he had the back a lot, but could never seem to finish it. I thought in that first round when they were dry, I was like, ooh, this could be a close one. This could be under. But, Coyote just being the little freaking maniac that he is. Although I know Patchy Mix won, and you got to feel bad for Coyote because he was beating the living shit. I shouldn't say the living shit, but he was beating Sergio Pettis pretty good before he gets caught. And the spinning back fist takes him out, knocks him out clean, which was kind of disgusting. But then this fight, he was doing so phenomenal. And then Patchy Mix got him, took him down 3 times in 3 rounds. So, just lost off of points. But, heart definitely goes out to him. I felt kind of terrible for him, but at the same time, like, I would hate to fight him ever. And then maybe the most shocking thing of the night, Justine Kish. I think she's 7-5 in MMA. Comes out there and beats Alimale McFarland, hometown girl, Hawaii's own. Whoo, man. I was sitting there the entire time just shook. I was like, it was a mix between you're like, Alimale wasn't really looking like who she usually is. And then you're also kind of sitting there like, wow, Justine Kish is actually just putting on a great performance. And, man, it was a toss-up. I probably would have had it 29-28, but I seen it was 30-27. I'm not going to be mad at that at all. I think every time Alimale actually had where she wanted to be, she just would – I shouldn't even say it's her fault because Justine Kish would do a great job at, reversing or getting out of certain situations. And, man, it was a very, very, very good performance by Justine Kish. And you never know. That could be one of those ones like I'm not gonna compare her to, Jorge Masvidal, but kind of like where that thing where it's like you've seen him already so many times. He's had such a long career, and then he gets that one big finish, that one big knockout, rejuvenates his career. He goes on and knocks a bunch of people out. Like, I would not be shocked at all if Justine Kish, makes a little name for herself in Bellator. But at the same time, you just, you feel bad for Alimale because you never want to see the hometown person lose like that, especially the walkout and everything that she had. It was definitely set for her to win. And I think they even picked like somebody a little easier for her to win technically. And it just backfired. So that one was wild. And then fight of the night easily. Rafael Stotts knocked out Juan Archuleta. I thought, whoo, buddy, that was such a good fight. Back and forth, high level, just grappling, high level stand up. The boys were just throwing. Then Rafael Stotts just comes out and finished it with that beautiful like high kick knee, whatever you want to call it. You don't see Juan Archuleta ever get finished like that, so that was very, very fucking impressive. And Rafael Stotts, he's about to skyrocket. I mean, good lord, I can't wait to see that man fight again. Seriously, that was one of the more intriguing fights that I've watched in a while, MMA wise, and that was whoo. And then of course, I don't want to spend too much time on it, but Cyborg just looking like Cyborg, doing Cyborg things. I guess there was a couple times there against Arlene Blancow that Arlene was kind of having her moments, and it was kind of cool. You could see that 3rd, 4th, 5th round, Arlene just kept getting more and more confident. Just like, this girl, yeah, she's scary. She beat me before, but like, I'm still in here. I've gotten her dropped a couple times, even if it was off of, just not being the greatest balance or whatever. It still was just a very, very impressive performance by both of them. Cyborg just always going to be doing Cyborg things. I don't know. Unless you're Amanda Nunes, I don't know who's going to beat that woman. And even I'd like to see that rematch because I think she'd come out and fight smarter. And I think, especially after seeing Amanda Nunes and Juliana Pena, it's crazy. But, MMA math doesn't always add up. So, but man, I was really impressed with the fight cards, Bellator. Good for them. I'd like to see them get away from the double night, unless they're stacking both nights. It was a tough one to watch that Friday night. They could easily took 2 or 3 fights from there, put it on, Saturday's fight card, and then bam, you had yourself a 6-7, fight bout, I should say, on the main card. So would have been very impressive. But damn, Saturday night really blew me away. So this has been the 5th round. As always, your boy Stephen Moustaris, and I hope you guys have a good one.